3, 2. Oh my God.
Yo, what's up?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the program.
The Airtime Podcast is presented by Van Shoes since 1966.
There's nothing fake about it. Have something to believe in and be yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Airtime, y'all podcast.
Yes, sir.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. We have one of my favorite snowboarders, somebody that I've just been super down with this homie for forever. A super fan of his whole approach, and over the last 10 years, he's really curated his own approach, style, image, and seeing him on the hill, he's just one of those individuals where you just like are so hyped to run into this homie. We got Kody Yarosloski. How do I say your last name?
Yarosloski.
Oh, I was Yarosloski.
Yeah.
I thought it was Yarosloski.
Shauski. Now, there used to be a W in there, but my grandfather took her out at some point.
Ooh, it's kind of like mine was Wozniak. There was a Z in it. And then they came overseas, and somebody must have been like, "This is annoying. We got to switch it up." And so,
Yeah, I don't know. They took the W out, but now no one can pronounce it proper. So it's like there's an owl in there. Yarosloski.
you got a middle name?
Zane.
Zane?
Yeah.
Zane.
Zane's my dad's name. Yeah,
That's a wicked name.
not so bad.
I like Zane.
Yeah, he's named after Zane Grey, the author.
Oh,
Yeah.
And did the author write something of importance?
Not really, just like old country western books.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that's
stupid.
kind of my lane.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Okay, so we got the red green T-shirt on right now for the people that are watching on YouTube. I've seen you wear this shirt a lot. Do you like mad fuck with red green or something like that, or do you just like the tee?
I don't mad fuck with red green, but I do like the show. I got this crazy, just like one memory of this old dude, Sonny. Like we used to go camping on this like beach. Like we'd like take this like jet boat out and camp on a beach, and Sonny couldn't go to bed unless he watched red green in the tent. It reminds me of that dude. He's just some old drunk dude. He's sick. He's like, I can't sleep unless we watch red green. So whatever. Yeah, I like the tea from that.
I like that.
Yeah, I've only seen a couple episodes.
It's more of a symbolic thing. It's got like some sentimental value to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe we can kick this off. We got opening day tomorrow, but that's on pause. Like I'm excited for the opening of Whistler Blackcomb. But what I was more excited for was the Mt.mtn premiere that we both just attended in Vancouver at the, what was it called?
The
again?
Biltmore
At
Cabaret.
the Biltmore. And it was packed, and we had all the homies there. How special was it for you to open that movie in front of that whole community for you?
Dude, that was really sick. My mom, dad, grandma came out. They were sick. And I don't know, man. It was sweet. There was a lot of shaking hands, though. Like, I didn't really get to, like, sit down, you know? But, oh, thanks for coming, yada, yada. But, no, it was sick. My grandma has, like, no idea what I do. And I asked her the night before if she wants to come, and she said, yeah. And then she got a couple smooches on the cheek from the homies. And, no, it was all right. It was a packed house. We were looking for spots for, like, 100 people. And then, like, we had, like, over 350 show up, which was nice. And then, yeah, it was sick having an opener, man. I never had an opener before. Never really had a video part before, honestly. That was sick.
I like look at Kody while the video's playing, and I'm like, we got to do a podcast. This is good.
Yeah, not so bad. It was a good night for sure. I didn't even really watch the video at the time. I was loaded, man.
I can believe it. First video part, I can't even remember mine, but yeah, I was probably loaded too. I have to say that I wasn't that loaded, and I just kind of took in the premiere, and it was like the movie Mt.mtn. If you haven't seen it, clips to relax and chill to. It's playing on King Snow. Check it out. It's an absolutely incredible film. But like for me, it was a group of some of my favorite riders who the last 10 years have meshed, become good friends, who filmed a project together. And it was like really special for me because I've always kind of like yourself included and like I can move down the list like Marty and Franks and Demo and everybody in that movie. I've been such a big fan of them. And then to see Coulter like put together this film that did such a good job of showcasing everyone's personalities. I was blown away. I think I might have shed a single tear. I'm not a crier. We all know on the
I saw you on the bomb, dude.
I know, but like I'm just saying, like I'm just like a bit older, and I was just like, this is super special. And I feel like, when's the first time you recall meeting me?
Cap Champions, dude.
Was that would have been the first?
That would have been the first.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
because I coached you for
1 week. Yeah.
Total. And do you know what year that would have been? 09?
Dude, like I swear, like 07.
Yeah, like a long time ago. Before your jeans, right? Before the jeans. Like the tight pants?
Dude, I had the tight pants.
Okay, yeah. You had the tight pants and the helmet.
Definitely helmet.
Yeah.
Dude, I was dressed fucked. Like, I had the purple sandbox and like a tie-dye shirt I got from a skier at the coach's sale, you know? Like, and like skinny pants and like, I don't know, I saw other people with like super skinny stances. And I had like this wide one everyone always gave me shit for. And I was like, okay, I'm going skinny stance, skinny pants, and this XXX tie-dye shirt. And yeah, and you were, I don't know what was up with you, man. You must have been baked or something, but you're teaching us like axle stalls on like a bank. I was like, sick, like just dig your toes in. I was like, well, you can just do that? Like, that's a trick. All right, yeah, I can do that.
That's what I taught you?
Yeah,
Damn.
and no slides. I remember I was a big front tail guy, and you were like, give it a no slide on this like flat box, and then I remember like it was the Simone Says rail jam, and it was like on this flat box, and you were like, screw the trick, dude, just no slide it. And I was like, hell yeah. And I did like the sickest no slide, and no one gave me love. I was like, Jody, come on, man. Like,
and I didn't even watch or something.
Yeah, that's the worst trick ever. And I'm still running that till this day.
Is there any other notable figures at Camp of Champions? Do you have any other recollections?
Yeah, that was like peak JP, Simone, Joe era. And I was a big Joe guy. He had the shoelace headband and whatever the hell else he was wearing.
The Shane Cross look.
Yeah, the Shane Cross. Big time.
He was going like tie-dye shirt, string in the hair.
Yeah. Button up, open. It was nice.
That was probably your inspo, and then you see like Kale and Nash with the small stance from Sandbox, and boom. Then you got your look.
Dude, no, you know what? I was I don't know. I remember always being so confused about the stance, and I just like maxed it out wide. And then Quinn Dubois, man, he's like 5 years younger than me. He's like 8 years old at the time, just giving me shit. Like, he's like, everyone's talking shit about your stance. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just bring it all the way in and see what happens. Couldn't even stand.
So you have the widest stance. The next day you show up to the park with the thing the most narrow possible. You're like, yo, what up, guys? Everyone's just looking at you like, damn, homie's changed it up.
Yeah, I was confused. I think that week I learned what Hesh was, and then I was like, oh, I'm Hesh now.
Those are fun times though, playing with your style. There's definitely a couple people that like find a lane, stick with that lane the whole time. Mm-hmm. But like I was a clip fluctuator, or sorry, not clip, a kit fluctuator person. And it sounds like you were in the peak crisis era though. 2010, if you look at those video parts, backcountries like the Skittles, then you got like, you go to Bear Mountain at the time, people have like feathers hanging out of their hair, and it was just like, people were just wearing, it was costumes.
I didn't know what was going on, dude. I was like, I'm just trying to go boarding and learn a board slide, dude. What do I wear?
All right, you touch on your grandma being at this event. Are you really close with your grandma?
Yeah, man, she's the man. We watch Survivor on Wednesdays. I just moved in with her recently. Actually, it was sick. So yeah, we've been caring for the chickens and watching Survivor on Wednesdays, eating lasagna.
Nice.
And her what do you say? Her signature dish is heavenly hash.
Ooh, what's that?
You ever had that?
No.
It's like hamburger meat, spaghetti, and like corn, and like with like tomato soup as like a sauce.
Ooh,
it's delish.
It sounds very good.
Very
what
nice.
are the noodles?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fucking dope.
Is it baked or like put on stovetop?
Baked?
Okay, baked.
But you bake it and then you next day you stovetop.
Ooh,
it's very nice.
Actually, now that we're talking about cooking right now. I was just on my phone scrolling like we all do, and I hit this thing. The two most like moldy kind of foods that most people wouldn't think of. Peanuts and white rice. And the white rice collects mold within 12 hours, and it's one of the moldiest foods on the planet. And
After cooking or before?
After cooking.
After cooking.
You cook it, and you got 12 hours until that rice is growing mold on it, like guaranteed.
Rice
This
sketchy,
person is like tripping, like, you gotta throw your rice out after 12 hours. And then they're like, and the peanuts, like, fuck the peanuts. And I'm like, I love peanuts.
What's up with peanuts, dude? They're in the shell. It's all right.
Yeah, I know, right?
We can't go to Five Guys no more.
I do love Five Guys. I'm a cheeseburger guy.
I love a good Five Guys cheeseburger.
I'd like to give you opener on that movie, but as we both know, Russ Lee opens that movie.
Dude.
Touch on, you're from Seymour.
Yeah.
Russ Lee opening that movie, that community, the vibe being there. Maybe just like touch on that.
Dude, Russ Lee having opener was special. I think everyone can appreciate that. He had the, excuse me twice. He had that workplace incident a couple years ago. He fell off a 5-story building and stomped it to his feet, and he fucking, dude, he's in better shape now, but he was in real rough shape. But that clip was obviously filmed before he had the workplace injury. But Russ was always just like the best figure at Seymour. He's low key, doesn't say much, everyone's friend, always says hi, and always just documenting their madness, dude. I remember, like, I started learning how to board park when I was like 13 at Seymour, and I remember this one time, like, learning board slides on this down bar, and fucking I'm on the way in, and Sean Kiv and Sean O'Brien are in the bushes drinking those grower squeezers, and fucking every time I'm trying to hit this down bar, Sean Kiv's running out trying to tackle me. I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm wearing. I'm trying to learn board slides, dude. Leave me the fuck alone. Like, and Russ is there just filming, like, it's so good. And it was real nice having Russ open that thing up.
Yeah, that was a special one for me to moving here, both kind of the same age, and just seeing what him and his community at Seymour kind of built. I always was such a big fan of like him and Heaney and Haringa and I don't know, everybody, Adam Mills, like their whole crew. So about boarding. And if you watch their old like Party Snake movies, which you must have like been, or were you a big fan of those movies?
Oh yeah, dude.
Up?
Like I knew how all those guys were before I went to Seymour, and like that was like peak Party Snake. That was like they're probably on number 2 or 3 at that point. And I remember being real intimidated, man. Like, holy crap! Like I don't know, I'm like 13, and like they'd have rail jams like once a month or something, just like Coastal Riders rail jams, and like a couple of them would board, but most of them, if not like 20 of them, would be like on a hill just yelling profanities at you, throwing shit, and you're like, fuck, like I'm trying to win like a hat, like, you know. It was sick. Honestly, Russ, Heaney, and Horn, they're the sickest. Like for like us little kids like me and Taco that were all hyped on dynos, like they'd give us hand-me-down boards and shit. Like I bought my first dyno because I saw Raheem do this tail block on this bank. It was like that blue and white rat board, had like the Dr. Seuss one. I was like, dude, like immediately sold. Like I'm fucking buying that board, whatever it is, you know? But yeah, I don't know. Party Snake was fucked.
Okay, so someone fucked. Like Party Snake is a more local film, you could say. Like if you live in BC, British Columbia, you know what that is. Maybe Canada. Mm-hmm. It got pretty big for a while there, but like to people who may not know what those films were like maybe touch on like where you think they got their inspiration from and what the whole film and the vibe was of that crew.
It was all party and then a little bit of boarding. Like most of the movies, like throwing up and like fighting, and like there's like a bit of boarding, and the boarding's sick. Like it's all sick, but it's definitely from Whiskey and Little Bastards and Wildcats, those type of films. But yeah, man, Party Snake story. Like a little kid again going up that mystery chair, just coming over Devil's Drop, and they're having a jam on like that. You know when they build that step up right over the crest there, and so there's like a jam, and there's like a product toss going on, and then someone hits the step up right into this like product toss crowd and hits someone. I don't know what happens, but I'm like coming up the chair looking at this, and then it just turns into a brawl. Like there's like a 50-person brawl. Like there's homies fighting homies, and like fucking it's just mayhem. I'm like, I don't know, like 13 or 14, like, oh, we should take Manning, dude. We should go around. This is fucked.
I love the modern day take at Seymour. It's so like, what up, and casual. Like it's so chill. You have like TJ at the top of a row, like, hey man, how's it going? And then like it's like so sleepy and mellow. But like 2010 on that hill was like, it was like going to like the gnarliest skate bowl, and if you weren't local there, it was like tough to like try and get a lap through the park.
Dude, it's a war zone. Like it was a fucking war zone. Like I remember there's like this one, it was like a game of snow or something, and I remember my buddy Sam Curry was like made to finals against Jesse Sorensen, but those guys like Jesse Sorensen more, so like Heenahan's on like the soundboard thing, and whenever Sam would go, he'd like hit like a baby crying real loud right before he'd hit the rail, so he'd fuck it up. And like yeah, Jesse won, obviously.
Oh my!
Like, dude, it was like there's definitely a lot of favoritism, and they dude, there's this kid Corey McIntosh. He was like my first dude that I knew who was like a local kid that ripped. He had like edits on Vimeo or whatever, and dude, they made that dude quit snowboarding. Like they bullied him so hard they just like quit. He was like, dude, I swear he was the first one to do a back three onto a down bar, like first. And he's like, he rips a skate now. He's living good, but dude, yeah, he quit boarding. Like he's like, this is too gnarly. I'm fucking out of here. Like you guys suck.
Yeah, there was definitely like, I'm not gonna throw Nick and Heaney and everybody into that vibe, but there was like a couple other notable figures that were like, I remember at one point like just being like I was always a little bit more like chill, and at one point I was like, I just don't want to go to this hill. It's like not fun for me to go there. And then it was like until a couple of those people kind of like moved on, or like just grew up too. Like a lot of them, like within a couple of years, were like, "Oh, that was dumb." And they would come up to you, be like, "Sorry for putting a beer on your head." But they were just like, it's when you have a bunch of teenage boys together that are going through puberty who idolize like Whiskey and the Wildcats, and those films were made on that hill at Seymour. Yeah, they were so about it that they were like, we got to keep this fucking going. And you're like,
they fucking did, man. They had sick parties like the Rave Cave. There's edits of that and like fucking just mayhem shit. But there was like a transition. I remember like Haringa kind of got more into snowboard coaching, and like the homies that were like more hyped on boarding, like Russ and Heaney and Horn, like they went boarding, and the homies that were more hyped on partying kept partying, and they didn't really come up to the hill that much. And it was just like
they didn't make it up anymore.
Make it. So like the boarding homies, they were sick. They're like, all right, cool, you're hiking this rail, right on, cool. And
that was like Russell Lee.
And, dude, Russell,
you know, he's the chillest dude ever.
I don't even know how he hung with those dudes. Like he's like not a mean bone in his body.
Yeah,
like,
totally. He would just stand there and like kind of nod his head, and be like, "What up?"
Yeah, him and Raheem are just baked.
Yeah, Raheem was like kind of dead lung inspo, Mark Frank Montoya on the roll kind of stee, no slide tap 180s, and like he kind of looked like Kevin Griffin but Seymour style a bit. You know what I mean? Is that crazy?
No, dude, not at all. Russ was guns, oil, drugs, God. But what was that one edit? I think Brockle made it. Party Snake at Seymour. Remember that one? Raheem opened it up. He's like jibbing that stump.
Totally.
That was like peak Raheem. Like holy fuck.
Totally.
That was before I even rode Seymour. I was like, I gotta get there.
Yeah.
It's so sick.
It's so wild to me how many, like anyone who's listening to this has like those figures at the hill, never made it, never got to be super pro, but like if only all of us could see edits of those individuals, because it is like there's so many people that go out there and film, and then there's people that just don't care, that are just as good as the people that are filming. It's wild to see someone like Raheem who's like never filmed, but if you put a camera on him, it's like homie's gonna film the coolest clip of the day.
Yeah, he's got the sickest clips and edits, and he's got like a couple clips in the Party Snake videos and shit. But like, dude, Raheem is the sickest at skating and snowboarding. But he works at Shoppers Drug Mart. dude. You know, like
Yeah, he just
he
doesn't
never
care.
really got the shine he deserves. He's the man, dude.
Maybe we'll switch this back to Mountain, that project, huge, big one for Canada. I just looked at the numbers. They're climbing steadily. We're really happy with the trajectory of this film and the overall success, and we think that it's a buy as far as, if you're going to invest some money, throw it at Mountain. We don't know where it's going to go. The resort might open or not, but that film, who's in it?
Me, Nick Elliott, Adam Franks, Colton Conway, Marty Vachon, Demo, Matt Cochran, Coulter, creative genius. Who else? Who am I missing?
Maybe somebody, but
Yeah.
I think we, for the most part, got everybody.
Oh, TJ.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
there we go. Nice
Sorry,
TJ
buddy.
on top of a mountain peak right now. Just like,
Oh,
what?
like,
How'd you
hey,
forget about me?
Hey, what?
So, Coulter, editing that film, what did you hear through the grapevine that he had to endure to finish that film?
Well, Coulter, first of all, Coulter has one of my favorite brains on the planet, and he decided to leave 4 years worth of work till 4 days. So the premiere was set for Sunday, and he started asking me for songs on Tuesday. I was like, oh boy. So I guess he started the video on Tuesday with all those animations and everything, man. He put it all together, pulled her off in like, I don't know, how many days is that? Like 4 or 5?
I think
Like,
4 days.
That's, dude.
I heard he edited the whole thing 4 days straight, didn't sleep. His chick was just like tripping out.
Yeah.
Like, you need to go to sleep. And he's just like on the computer, just nonstop.
He cranking those brown bottle Lucky Loggers. Yeah, I called Danny that one day. I was like, how's our boy doing? She's like, I had to leave. he told me to leave.
Dude, going into the editing room, if you're a procrastinator, which I would say 50% of the filmers and editors I've worked with over the years are, and you go into that bay when they're in like tunnel zone and you're like, yo, like, do you think we can move this lifestyle? And it's like asking your mom something when you know she's mad at you and you're like, oh my God,
Should have asked Dad.
Yeah, totally should. I should have asked Dad situation. Like, you're like, oh, Coulter, you are, well, I mean, kudos to him because that film, like, I don't think anybody really got to see what he created. Like, I don't think writers were sitting side him while he was editing the thing. So it just comes out. Did you know you had opener?
No, I had no idea. No, we all saw it for the first time at the premiere.
Wow.
Which was pretty sick.
Maybe we can first touch on your opening clip in there. You take it from here because I don't even understand what happened, what was going through your mind. I was terrified when you were doing it. I was terrified when you did a lot of those tricks.
I think everyone that was there. I think I'm kind of a bummer on the session, maybe like, oh, he's gonna do that, like fuck. But no, dude, that's the wooden roller coaster at Playland at the P&E. I've been riding that thing since I was like 6, dude. Dude, yeah. Every summer you go ride the wooden roller coaster at the P&E. But no, that was a freak snow day in Vancouver. Not much going on. A few inches of snow, yada, yada. But we heard Jordan Bell and Kyle Staten were hitting this kink at Hastings Park, which is right by Leaside and the P&E, just at this sports complex right there. So we're hitting the kink. Or I'm not hitting the kink. They're hitting the kink, just watching. And I kind of look up at the roller coaster. I'm like, oh, dude, you could probably ride down that fucking thing. And then I'm living with Dave Walter at the time. We lived a block away. I was like, yo, Dave, I'm gonna hit this. And he's like, yep, coming. So he brought the camera. I was like, yeah, look up there, man. I think it'll go. And he's like, yeah, sure, cool. So it's just like a fence there with barbed wire between us and this roller coaster. And he's like, yeah, let's go in there. Hop it. And I climb up to the biggest one immediately. And I'm like, dude, this isn't gonna go. And then Joseph Kelly was there too. He was filming VX, so he's like, he's down for the cause. So he goes across to the opposite highest one. He's like, yeah, do it. And I'm looking down at Marty, and Marty's like, no, dude, don't do it. And I'm like, okay. So I drop my board down. It's like a missile. Like, oh fuck. And then I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna go. So I'm like, Dave, I don't know what to do, man. He's like, well, just like do the second biggest one, like over here. It'll still be cool. I'm like, all right. So I'm like strapped in at the top there. And it's like scary strapping in too, because you put your board across like those planks of wood. They're all gapped out. They're all like like a good 8 inches apart, you know? And I'm like strapped in. I'm like, fuck, like, I don't want to do this. I'm going to get wrecked. Like, and then I see this like security guard in the distance, like running at the roller coaster. I'm like, fuck, like, all right. I'm like, Dave, gotta go. This is the fastest way down. We're boarding. So ride down, and then you can kind of see like I fall on my butt. Like at the end, like I probably could have popped out and made it look sicker, but I'm like, oh shit, fall on my butt and like unstrap. I'm like, Dave, we gotta go, dude. So that was a run and gun.
Dude, if you would have, like the way I looked at it, when you kind of start hitting terminal velocity on that, on the speed, like if something weird grabbed your edge there, a limb going in between, because we all have been to a roller coaster, there's like big gaps in between, especially the old wood ones, that it's like if anything goes in there, and it's like big enough that like your head could kind of fit
I
in
know,
it.
dude. I was like,
and your head would have got ripped off.
Like,
Dude,
it's getting ripped off.
Yeah, if your arm went there, it's getting ripped off.
That's what I was thinking. Like when I was on the tallest one, I was like, ooh, like I'm losing a limb, dude, for sure.
Oh man, and all the homies are there too. Like you ride away, and it's like the crew, and I love clips like that.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, there's probably like a good 15 people on the other side of the fence. But yeah, it was just me and Dave in there at that point, and I was like, Dave, we gotta go, man. And then we hopped the fence out, and we all look at the clip, and everyone was stoked. Like Sam Curry was there with Teo, and Teo's like, is he gonna do that? And Sam's like, let's go for a walk, man. This is like dumb. Like, don't get any ideas.
If I was there, I would have been the type to be like, don't do it, get down. I would have just been panicked. I would have been like Marty on the high one. I would have freaked out because like that clip, like just from the like what you can see in that from the actual camera, you're like, if you're there, it's probably like all spots. If you're there, it's just so much gnarlier in person. Like I'm imagining you standing at the top, and you're like, well, there's the security guard. I either do this or I don't do this. What went through your mind at the time to push you over the edge to do it? Do you have a Reynolds thing that you have to tap on something, or like does something play through your head when you do a stunt like that?
Like a stunt like that's like, I don't know. Usually a stunt like that's like you have to trespass and break in, like, which I'm pretty pumped on. Like, I'm like, Dave got me into like just crime spots, you know, like no damn bars. We're breaking in and we got like one try. But so you like, I don't know, you smoke like 4 smokes before you hop the fence. And once you're in there, the clock's ticking, so you just like hit it, you know?
Here at Airtime Podcast, we do not condone breaking and injury, but
or smoking. Don't do that.
Or smoking. I mean, we kind of.
That's cute.
That's a quick side note, but we were just talking about smoking and nicotine and like the headaches that I've been getting, and how you were like, you tried to quit smoking and you got like sick.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Well, it's E-Man's fault. He's nollie backtailing everything with cigs in his mouth, and I thought that was cute. I started doing. It's E-Man's fault, for the record.
I wonder who inspired E-Man, because there's always those clips of somebody skating or snowboarding with a cig in the mouth, and I would say 60% of the people, maybe more, that are listening to this right now are gonna like they know exactly what we're talking about. Like the clip with the homie rolling in, he's got the cig in the mouth, and then he like does the ollie down the biggest double set ever, or like, you know, does a cool back lip, or Nate Bozung and Matty Ryan like kind of had that flex for a while. And there's probably people before, maybe in the backcountry. I feel like Johnson and Kearns maybe had some like powder ciggy slashes, you know what I mean?
Powder cig slash feels good,
Yeah,
dude.
you do it once and your smoke is just toast.
E-Man was definitely my favorite snowboard smoker, but Jonas Michelot had a couple good cig clips.
How many smokes do you smoke like a month? What do you have right now?
20 a day times 30 or whatever.
Dude, you need to quit.
Well, that's what my mom says.
Oh, and your grandma and everybody else that loves you.
Grandma quit when she was fucking 55 or something, which was pretty impressive. But
yeah. Do you think you're gonna quit? Like, do you want to, or do you like it right now?
I really like it, but I know I should. I went to get hypnotized like a few months ago to quit smoking.
So you want to quit?
I just think I should.
You should.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I know my breathing's like not that good.
Dude, you sound like 20% more raspy than last year.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I know it sounds good, but like shit, dude.
Hot voice?
Yeah. Like just because something looks cool doesn't, or it's so weird that we all have that, like, or at least I do, that like fascination with cigarettes. You know, maybe it's because like I grew up in an era like the '80s, like everybody smoked.
Well, it's like a prop, you know?
It is.
It's a prop.
It's a prop.
Yeah.
It's also like the way I look at it when I'm out. If I'm out at a bar and I don't have a beer in my hand, I feel like there's lots of people that go into a social setting, and if they normally smoke, it's like that's their thing they do. So if they don't have that, they're like, I mean, my dad's 71 and my dad smokes.
Dude, I met
Dutch.
I was gonna say Butch. Sorry, Dutch. Dude, Dutch was a goat. Yeah, we hacked a couple darts together.
Yeah, but then just because we're on the topic, yesterday his best friend passed away. And I don't know how long he smoked for, but it's just like, dude, like it catches up to you. Like,
oh, for sure.
It's like, you know, and you want to keep riding with these mountain homies, dude. I think you should quit. I think everybody's listening here. We're all in favor of you quitting, but maybe we'll shoot this back to another spot. We're gonna transfer over to the bleacher spot. Oh, yeah. We want an in-depth bleacher spot. Give us the setting, the tone, the vibe, the day.
Smoked a few smokes before that one.
Shit, dude. We gotta get you off these cigarettes.
That was the same kind of thing. We were in Calgary a few years ago, just driving around. I think we were only there for a few more days because Marty wanted to hit that Sinalta, the quad kink, triple down, whatever you want to call it. He wanted to cab to it. And so we were like, all right, cool. Maria Thompson's hitting it with Seb Judge too, but the lip was for Maria's board slide. It wasn't for Marty Cab 2. So he didn't want to say anything or fuck with her session. So he's just trying it. And Cab 2s gets to the first kink, slips out, breaks his 2 front teeth out. And like he's just like, oh, my teeth, dude, they're gone. Poor Marty. So after that, we're out of spots. So we were driving around. I was like, kind of looked up, the same as the roller coaster. I was like, oh, yo, you could probably ride down that. And it was a perfect crime spot. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna hop this fence and just see what happens. So yeah, you have 4 smokes. Call Liam Glass, have another 4 smokes, and then
do you have smokes because you're nervous?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what like you have to like you're doing it to calm your nerves because you're like kind of stressing on like the whole hop over procedure, unknown, breaking an entry, kind of like what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get in trouble and I'm gonna get hurt. Like, oh, let's have a smoke about it. Like, you know.
Where does the inspiration come for like these clips and these ideas? Like, is there a certain rider that like inspired you to push into this lane, or you just like looking up when you're driving?
Not really any inspiration. I guess the first time I did something like that was with we were in a trip to Winnipeg with Dara and Dave Wasser, and Dave looked up at that the Jeeves spot with the truck. Ender of Sub City, my ender. We didn't know it was the Jeep spot at the time.
No way.
No.
Wow, you organically came across that spot and the exact same truck layout and everything was there.
Still there.
It's so wild,
insane.
Dude. That's
but yeah,
crazy.
that was Dave's idea. I was like, oh yeah, this will be cool. And then after we were like, let's only hit spots like this. This
like
is sick.
janky, kind of like,
yeah.
And then throw the board over the barbed wire always looks good.
We're breaking in. We're jibbing this someone else's property. They're gonna be mad. And then, so we were like, okay, these are the spots for us. So, yeah, no inspiration.
Back to the bleacher, though.
Yeah, back to the bleacher.
Let's shoot back there. Sorry for interrupting you.
No,
earlier.
it's all good. I'm going everywhere. Nick Elliott helps me hop the fence. Like, put my headphone into Slayer. I'm like, waiting for the drop before I drop in, you know? I'm like, okay, hold on, boys. Just wait for the drop. And, yeah, there's no plan, dude. Like, I'm looking like an endless sea of blue seats, and like there's a gap at the end with like a closeout rail, and then you can't see it in the clip, but over the fence is like a running track of concrete. And I'm like, if I make it to the end, I'm gonna get wrecked. If I don't make it to the end, I'm getting wrecked. I'm like, whoo. Like, all right, yeah, fucking drop. Border. Yeah. I think the clip he used is the first try. I made it the furthest that one, like almost halfway. But I was hoping for I always liked a good bail clip. That's like, I was just kind of going around looking for bail clips. I'm gonna bail on purpose. Like, I was hoping for like a good Tommy. Like, I was like, oh, if I Tommy down this will be insane. You know,
dude. Any faster if you would have ragdolled through there and your head kind of did what it could have happened on the roller coaster. You could have ripped your head off again. You're going through like ripping limbs off cliffs. Like, dude, you gotta chill. Dude.
Yeah,
dude.
I don't know, man. But...
Dude, you got the Purple Heart for this year for sure. Like, it's like, dude, you're real brave out there.
But at the top, I was like, oh, I hope I don't like break my leg or something dumb. Like,
and how do they get you? You know, if you break your
you're
leg
in the middle
there,
of some bleachers. Like
I'm taking my backcountry knowledge into this conversation right now, and I'm all about like risk assessment. And if I was there, I'd be like, I don't know if I can film with this guy.
Yeah, this guy's loose.
This guy is loose.
Yeah, it all worked out fine. But I did break one of the seats with my butt on like the third try.
You tried it 3 times?
Yeah. Try to get further.
That photo we are definitely linking in the show. That one was amazing. But like, you have a lot of these like things that like clearly inspire you, where they're like a group of riders or skateboarders or individuals or movies that kind of like, you're like, do you get like a good applause from like your friends that makes you want to keep doing it? Like, what pushed you into this genre? Because it's a very creative niche genre that you're into, and like, I am such a big fan of it, but I don't want you to rip your head off.
Yeah, fair enough. It's kind of just out of necessity because I can't do tricks. Like, I'm like, dude, I can't backlip this down flat down. You know, I guess I'm just gonna do this for entertainment value. You know,
really? So do you have like you think that you don't have a big enough bag of tricks, so this is the avenue you should like lean into? I think that your tricks are so sick. That's the reason why I'm kind of.
Well,
they're
I don't know,
simple.
Like the park's different, but like in the streets is like a little gnarly. Like, especially filming with those guys like Franks and Marty and shit. Like, Marty's got the sickest cab 2 on the planet. Dude, sorry, Fronius, dude, but like Marty is the best. And yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm just gonna ride down the bleachers. I'll do it once, and like, it's a clip. It's fine. Like, Marty's gonna be there for a day. It's cool.
Mike, you're like, way better pick. This guy's an idiot. He's looking at you like, what is this guy doing on the top of the bleachers? You're like, okay, guy who hiked the spot all day to get a cab 270 and lose his teeth.
Yeah. But also, like, I don't know. I'm like, those guys were filming. Like, it was always me and Dave filming, just me and him. So, I was worried about his time, but like, it was our time. Like, I started filming with Mt.mtn, like, after they were already a crew. So I was like, oh, I don't want to take any of his time. I'm like, yo, I'll just do this like once. It's going to be kind of fucked. And then I'll have a clip. Like, you guys can battle all day. Like, it's all good. I just didn't want to take anyone's time, you know?
And what's the reasoning by you not wanting to take up any time?
I just think I don't want to deep dive here, Dr. Phil, but I just kind of think I suck. I'm like, dude, me front lipping this is not going to be that sick. I'm just going to do something else, you know?
I mean, I definitely want you to tone down anything that you could like actually die on, but there's definitely the lane that you're in is like really fucking exciting. As somebody who's consumed snowboarding, I've seen enough lip slides on like triple kinks that just aren't that exciting. And like, you pushing into this creative lane with your personality and everything, like it all just really comes across as like, when you meet you and then you see the spots that you ride, it's like it all just like makes sense. Like it is, and I really fuck with it. Like, I really like what you're doing, but I just, then there's the dad in me, or the risk, the backcountry, like, I'm going to an avalanche safety course, and I just want you to be okay. You know, I want you to come home every day all right. But like, I think that's the dance we all have with snowboarding, is just like, you know, pushing yourself. And like, the more you get into stunting, kind of like we had Bryn Alexander on the podcast. Bryn's a stunt person. And it's like, when you see somebody jump down the stairs, you're like, what an idiot. But there's actually a calculated way to do that. And maybe what I'm trying to say is you should work alongside Bryn so you can calculate these stunts a little bit more, so you can get some longevity going here.
There is no calculation going on over here, man. But thank you. That's very nice of you to say. But I don't know. I like, ever since that truck thing with Dave, like, I haven't really been into jibbing spots. I've kind of been more into like physical graffiti, you know? Like, yo, come get this one, you know? I got this one. Yeah, cover me, dog. Like, you won't, you know?
I really like that one spot that you hit. It's like you ollie up onto a roof and then you kind of like smack into the side of like this air duct. I was there shooting photos of that and they turned out okay, but I actually was playing around with shooting on film and it's a little bit blurry. I'll probably link it in here in the YouTube thing, but like that was when I really realized like the original Mountain movie Sub City, you had a couple like little janky spots like this, but this new film, Clips to Chill, Relax to, is like you leaned into this. Like you have a couple like really sick kinky spots and a couple like more techie things, but like all in all, it's like really creative stunt work. And I think a lot of people are getting kind of over the board slide 50-50 trend that's happening right now on like just like everyone's just doing board slides and 50-50s, but like not on fun spots. Where like the jankier the spot, the more interesting the 50-50 is to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you're going to do a 50-50 these days, like I want that to be like some busted up steel.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I just want to keep it interesting out there.
So, like, what are you going to lean into these coming years? Do you think that you'll, like, just keep looking up in the van and find higher roller coaster rides? Or, like, I feel like you would excel, like, in, like, Russia or someplace. Or, like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
You need to go on one of those trips. I feel like they would have a bunch of crazy janky spots for you.
Jib a missile or something.
Just, like, a town that's just, like, I don't know. That's, like, abandoned. An abandoned city is what you need to go to.
Dude, I honestly looked up if you can, like, visit Chernobyl. Like, to jib.
Dude, they probably have good spots there.
Yeah, dude, and they got snow.
We had a girl actually from Chernobyl stay with us when I was a kid through this like church program.
Did you get sick?
No, but she was like traumatized. I felt like I'm like that's maybe one of the first times when I was like a younger kid when I realized like people in Canada don't really like, or in the States to some extent, like just how lucky we are. We've had like a nice like 80-year hiatus away from like complete utter trauma and destruction. Anyways, we're not going to lean the podcast into like political crazy shit, but like world events that I'm not knowledgeable enough to talk on. But like we are very lucky to be here. And yeah, anyways, yeah, and we're very lucky to be here because we're just grateful that you've decided to glue a box onto the top of the van of your ceiling. Let's talk on that for a second. Where's the inspo for that?
That was Smith Limo for sure. And like, Huringa sold me his old van for cheap, and I was like, "Oh fuck." I just thought it would be sick to have a jib on my car, and then I don't know. I got the idea of like a back tail on the top of my car. I thought it'd be a sick photo. I was like, "Oh, maybe flames. That'd be cool." I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a sick photo." But like, dude, I couldn't even jib it. Like, it was like so much harder to like find a spot to put it than I thought. Like, I only did 250s on it. It was tough to find a good spot for that van. But no, I hit up Lucas Ouellette at Arena Snow Parks, and yeah, he was like, yeah, no problem. Built me up this box, and the side folded down, so it was like a Thule also. And then
Did you have to pay for the box?
oh yeah.
You bought a van and then built a box for the top of your van for you to 50-50. This is so dope. This is so sick.
I don't know. I'm just like a little kid.
When did you come up with this? At like 1 a.m. and you get up with a pen and paper and you're like, I gotta jot this down. I got the idea of a lifetime.
Remember that?
What did you do with the van?
Dude, no, I tried to give it blew up. I was driving to the bleacher spot with the van. So I was on the Coquihalla driving to Calgary, and it was like 3 a.m. or something, some late night mission. Solo, it blows up on the Coquihalla. Snowstorm. There's no shoulder to pull over on. I'm like, fuck, all right.
Like actually stressful situation?
Oh yeah. Like I was
the Coquihalla is gnarly.
dude, it's like the shittiest highway in the winter. Like, well,
maybe it's one of the worst ones in like a first world country for sure.
Yeah.
It's stressful.
Like, well, there's just so many like semi trucks driving by, like whatever. So I'm on the side of the road. Luckily, I had this flashlight thing. It was pitch black. I was like, whenever a semi would drive by, I'd kind of flash the flashlight on the van.
You're trying to do something.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it blew up, and I tried to give it to Seymour as a park feature, and they're like, yeah, no problem.
Like the van and the box?
And the box. I was like, dude, this is gonna be sick. Like, They'll set it up nice. We can all jib it.
I could get my money back.
Yeah,
maybe?
get my money back. Maybe a season pass. But yeah, then they took it, and then they were like, no, we don't want it anymore. It's too crazy. And then they were like, we're calling the cops if you don't get it out of here in 2 days. I was like, oh, well, fuck you. No, just keep it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they scrapped the van and they kept the box.
Nice.
But I should go back and get that one of these days. I tried to use that as leverage to get a season's pass a little while ago. I was like, Mount Seymour Parks is using my box without my permission. Please give me a season pass. And they're like, no, just come get it.
And you're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah. But if you're listening to this, give them a pass. How long have you been riding at Mount Seymour?
Like 15 years or something.
Is Mount Seymour the best resort if you live in Vancouver?
Depends who you
What
are.
are the pros and cons of each one of them? Quickly.
Mount Seymour, sick. Well, times are changing, but sickest vibes, top to bottom, side hits to park. Sometimes it depends on the time of year. They got top to bottom park, which is pretty sick. But side hits straight into a jump line, straight into the park, and then once you exit the park, you're in the parking lot where you can hang out with every person that you like to snowboard with, which is pretty sick. Have a little beer. Grouse Mountain was always a pain in the ass, one of my least faves, but pretty sick now that I got the rope tow.
Yeah, I gotta say, I hit up Grouse this year, and I had a really good time. I was
Such
like,
a good
this is good.
It's so good.
What about Cypress?
Cypress is like not even in the question. Like, that place sucks. Like, well, it doesn't. It's actually pretty sick, but like everyone that buys a complete setup to use one time goes to Cypress. Like everyone has like a
No
Tesla.
community vibe.
No, dude. Everyone has a Tesla or a Lambo with like the ski rack on it, you know, and like you feel like a loser for not wearing a helmet in the lift lines. Like this place sucks. Like everyone's looking at me weird. Like you're gonna hurt yourself. Like fuck you. I don't know. I'm smoking too.
you're definitely the exact stereotype of like a snowboarder to those like rich, more pretentious people that are like, this is preposterous to have this kid on this hill with no helmet, and how dare he be smoking near me?
Like driving a mobile jib. Like,
I know what you mean, but like, fuck. There's just some people who get so triggered by having somebody smoke by them. But like, I grew up with smoking, so I'm always like, if I'm driving and someone's like, can I have a cig in here? I'm like, fuck, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
like, why'd you
yeah.
even ask? But like, some people, it's like, there's like a firm, like they hate the smell of it. They get sick from it. They just hate it. So if you add that to like you not fitting in with their Tesla and you show up with a van with a box on the top of it with flames all over it,
Yeah,
they're like,
dude.
dude, this guy is fucking out of his mind.
Yeah, that's where like the Prada complete snowboards and like the Louis Vuitton onesie is at. Like that's the West Van rich folk. But I think they got some pretty good terrain. Like Haringa grew up riding there.
Yeah.
You take the
Rasman.
ferry from Bowen, get up to Cypress or Whistler, and then like get back to Bowen the same night, you know? But yeah, Haringa likes Cypress.
Haringa gave you a pro model glove. Let's touch on that. Like you're from Seymour. Haringa starts this company. Probably lots of like your favorite boarders are on this company. You're wearing the shit before you like even probably get sponsored by them. What did it feel like? What kind of like, you know, you get the pat on the back and he gives you your own glove. I don't know. Just touch on maybe that and your relationship with Nick.
Dude, that was crazy. Like you always think you're gonna act cooler than you do when you get a pro something, you know? Like, I don't know, you always see people like, oh my, thank you. I'm like, say something cool, you know? Like, but like Russ surprised me. We were all boarding at Seymour. He's like, yo, reach into my bag, get some cigs. I was like, yeah, sick. And I pull out these gloves. I was like, oh, thank you. It's so cool, you know? But dude, it was really sick to get from Horn because, dude, he was my snowboard coach back in the day. Like I did like this, BC snowboard team when I was like 13. That's when I started boarding at Seymour. So that was like the only way I could get to the hill though, you know, like I lived like an hour away, have to like it's either take the bus or like I'd get driven for like soccer practice to Seymour, you know? Like,
Yeah, totally.
with the snowboard team. But yeah, Horn was the coach, and like so I've known him for like over 10 years. So he was the coach for 1 year, but I remember it's funny, like we would like preseason, we would do dry land training. So like for 3 Sundays in a row, we'd jump on the trampolines. And so fucking Horn was like show up and I'd be like, oh, sick. Like, I know this guy, he's from Party Snake. Now he's going to watch me jump on trampolines for 3 Sundays in a row, you know? Like, fuck, so bummed. But it's pretty sick. Like 10 years later or whatever, he gives me some gloves. It was surreal, dude. I was pumped. I was really pumped. I don't know where I'm going.
I mean, I kind of felt the same way. And I think that Nick has this like unique ability to like see people who are maybe underappreciated in this, especially our close community here in the Sea to Sky. He's kind of like finger on the pulse, and he knows that they're going to do amazing shit because they're such dedicated students and passionate snowboarders. He's not just giving to somebody who's like, oh, I'm trying to get my shine right now. It's like, these are lifelong, these are boarders through and through that are going to be snowboarding for life. And he identifies with that because Nick is such a passionate snowboarder.
Right, dude.
So he's like, we're on the same frequency here. And he's just like, ooh, I like what this kid's about. He's going to snowboard forever. Let's give him some gloves with his name on it. He's going to be doing this for 25 more years. Like, and I love that he can see that in like a rider kind of before they get their shine or blow up. And yeah, definitely a super fan, you could say, of
I'm
Nick.
a super fan of Horn, dude. I think he might be the most talented boarder.
He's so good.
He's so good, dude. He can use his board so good. He's so good at edging.
Yeah.
And like, dude, he can do like, I don't know if he can do a 1080 on a jump, but he can 1080 on a fucking box. For sure.
Totally. He's got like in a weird way. I don't know if this is the best analogy. I think it's a pretty good analogy. If you've seen him snowboard before, he's got a little bit of that like Scott Stevens freakish talent, edge control. You know what I mean? You see him like half cab off of a roll and then go into a hand plant, and then he does like a couple little butters after. You're like, that board control is like, yeah, it's from years of experience, but it's also there's some cells in his brain that really understand like gravity or something.
Yeah, gravity. Oh, remember that clip of him doing like the one-footed bootless McTwist?
I don't remember. Oh, at Party Snake?
Yeah, it was in Party Snake. It was one of the early ECSs, like 2 or 3 or something. He no boot, one binding McTwist. It was sick. It was insane.
Okay, he does some one-footed stuff. I've never loved one-footed. What's your take on one-foots? You like one-foots?
I don't know. Scott Stevens is cool, but like I'm not gonna do it. Like I don't really like watching it or anything.
I don't really like one-foot stuff, but then there's certain riders that like they can do it in a setting that I'm like, I actually really like that. And Nick's one of those riders.
Yeah.
And if Nick goes, well, actually Nick's a hall pass do anything, kind of like Scott Stevens.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that was a good analogy. Now that I've said that analogy, I'm like, I kind of like, you know. Nick Haringa is the Canadian Scott Stevens.
That's nice. Yeah. Shout out, Nick.
Okay, one more touch before we're going to kind of switch chapters here, but abandoned building, ollie through the shattered glass window, down into the dark hallway, creeper on the wood rail into a concrete wall with graffiti everywhere. Where did you find that spot?
Dude, Jordan Bell told us about that one. I was on a trip with Dave and Dara. We flew into Ottawa, and then I guess that was an abandoned hotel at some ski resort, and I'm not sure which one, but we show up. Just Jordan was like, "Yeah, there's probably some stuff you can hit there." So I think the Bruners have definitely hit some stuff there. The what's his fuck? Axel.
Oh yeah, totally. He's sick.
Axel's sick.
Super sick.
There's like that walkway kind of thing, and then they put like a filing cabinet in the middle of it. He's like rode as a box through it, and then Nick Roy, ollied both like roof to roof, which was really sick. And I think I don't want to screw this up, but I think it was David Torgier. Fuck, I don't know how to say his name, but he did like front board pretzel on this like flat bar into a bank there or whatever. I think SRD jibbed some stuff there too. But anyway, that was one of those things. I don't like jib a lot of stuff on a trip, you know? I'm like, oh, like pushing for this one spot. I'm like, oh, this will be sick. And no one believes me. But like when they do believe me, I'm like, shit, I got to do it, you know?
You got to envision the security guard always coming to you in the distance. You know what I mean? You're like, I got to go.
I got to go. So yeah, build this giant jump. And dude, there's like broken glass everywhere on the stairs. Like the window frame is all like janky glass everywhere. And then so we're like, fuck, like me and Dave are like, yeah, just leave the glass. This will be sick. So we do leave the glass, but we find these like asbestos like ceiling tiles, and just like put them on the landing like to cover the glass and put a little snow on them, And so Jeeves and Dara are shovel towing me into this thing. I'm like, oh fuck, Jeeves is here too. I gotta do it. Like, and so we hit it a few. They pulled me in a few times. And then Jeeves is like getting over. He's like, dude, like I got shit to do. Like you got to do this like right now. So I'm like, okay. So like I go the one time after that. I like smash Dave's death lens. I'm like I didn't know. I like fall like down the stairs. I'm like, oh, I'm fucking over it. Like fuck this spot. And then Dave's like, no, dude, you just hit the death lens. You're doing it right now, or I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah. Jeeves and Daryl like, give me a good pull this time at Lace, and then run into that wall.
That clip was really sick.
That was a really scary one, man. I'm like the most proud of that one, probably.
Yeah,
really
that's
sick.
a really sick spot. Like at the premiere, all your homies are there. The song is so loud, and then you jump through a shattered window with like graffiti everywhere into like you're like, what is going on right now? The whole part, you're constantly like questioning like what's going on, and should we all like have you done a lot of ayahuasca? Have you look at the world differently here? Like, I'm gonna try this thing. It's called the Kody. It's just where you look up for spots.
Yeah, just look up, man. You got a roof, you got a spot.
The Sea Rail Slam looked fucking bad. What happened there?
That one sucked, man. That was in Hamilton, Ontario. That's like easily the worst place to jib ever, but good subs.
Good sub sandwiches?
Good sub sandwiches, yeah. B.A. Johnson's got this like web series where he does subs. He's like, this is a good sub. Like, so we went to some sub spots. But,
what makes a good sub to you?
I don't know. Ask B.A.
Like, no, like what kind of sandwich? Like, you like
It was
thick
like
bread? You like thin bread? You like, are you going like Italian BMT on them?
It was like, it wasn't Subway bread. It was like the white Italian loaf, but a little thinner, and it's wet. They want a
little
wet
moisture in it.
Yeah, they got I
Oil
don't
and
know.
vinegar, maybe?
Yeah, some sort of sub sauce that's a wet sub. But I don't know. We had some good subs there. I guess there was like there's like this abandoned ski hill that Coulter knew about. And like, I wanted no part of that thing. No one else did either. And he's like, Coulter's like, I don't know, it's been like a few days without clips, we're all running. Like, motivation's like getting low. And I'm like, yeah, fuck, I'll hit it, whatever. And then, yeah, hit it a few times and like came out to fakey, kind of sketchy. And then there was this random dude there, Matt Henderson, I believe his name was. He recognized Dara from the bomb hole. And he was just going boarding for the day out this like golf course ski hill thing. So he's like chilling with us. And he's like, I'm buying you guys Donairs after this. I'm like, sick, like dropping in. I'm like, oh, fucking stoked for that Donair. And just like get smoked, dude. And like, yeah, like fractured my kneecap kind of thing. Oh. Like it was no tendons or nothing. It was just fractured kneecap from like whatever, that impact. And then yeah, Matt Henderson's in the clip, icing my knee with the snow.
Oh, that one looked bad. And for that injury, we're gonna shout out our sponsor now, the Scandinave Spa Whistler. We have a bath pass for you to go ice that knee. Yeah, man, it's a great place. Have you been before?
I'd never been, dude.
Oh, it's nice. You go there by yourself. You close your eyes. It's like you come out and you're gonna be ready to ride down some even crazier shit. You're gonna ride down the big roller coaster ride.
We're going back for the big one. Thanks, Scandinav.
Yeah, big shout outs to them. And then on that note, we got a Patreon question. Not from you. Thank you to you, Kody, who's on the show, for being one of the original Patreon members. And you give me way too much support, and it means a lot. And that's not why he's on the show. It's not bias. This isn't political, people. But we have another question from Seb Judge.
No way.
Okay. He says, Kody, the entire world gets covered in 30 centimeters of snow. Every security guard and cop off duty. What world-renowned landmarks are you going to attempt to hell ride down? Great question, by the way.
That is a really good question, man. First of all, do you know Seb Judge's dad's name is Mike Judge? Pretty cool. Inventor of Beavis and Butthead.
Really?
Well, he's not, but same name. Pretty cool. Landmark. Might drop it on the Eiffel Tower or some.
Dude, come on. Something more realistic.
Fuck, I gotta pee real bad.
Oh, okay.
Let me think about it.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be right back.
Hell yeah. I think we're getting a line down the Taj Mahal somehow.
I don't know how, but
We're getting one.
Taj Mahal's a good one.
I don't really know any good landmarks, maybe like Mount Rushmore.
The pyramids?
Yeah, pyramids are
Kind of played, though.
Yeah, it's played.
Yeah, totally. What about, like,
My favorite pyramid-esque clip, though, is Nick Dirks airing that camel.
Where?
It's in Shoot the Moon.
What does he do?
He airs a camel.
He ollied a legit camel?
Yeah, dude.
How do I not remember that clip?
Dude, it's like a Super 8 clip. It's like film. I don't know. It's like the most random clip.
Okay. You got a really unique approach building these days. What has inspired your riding growing up, and what inspires your riding now?
Growing up, it was all Party Snake, whiskey, like get drunk as fuck, punk music, yada yada. And now it's like looking back to like old videos. There's a bunch of good YouTube channels like Lost Snowboard Vids and Sigmund 619, yada yada, and like watching Hard Hungry Homeless and like old Kody Yarosloski footy. And like I don't know, like dude, they like it's like they didn't have like actual boots and like shifting and poking all crazy, like and like the kits. It's like I don't know, like the kit inspires the boarding really when it comes to me.
That is let's linger on that for a second, because that hits with me, because I talked about that on the bomb hold too. Just like I dove into that, like your kit's bad, like you just want to go home. Even like as soon as you bring that up to another rider, as soon as I brought up that to Grenier, he's like, "Oh, dude, I get it."
Yeah,
and it's like I don't even know if we're on the same frequency with snowboarding at all if you don't think there can be a kit crisis. Like if you're like, dude, like whatever, you can still enjoy the day. It's like, nah.
No, I'm not.
No, I can't. I gotta like my whole day is thrown off if my armpit looks weird or like, you know, like that shit irritates me.
I couldn't find my favorite green West Beach pants for the first month of last year. I think I was bitching to you about that.
I do remember. I was bummed too.
Yeah.
Those are good pants.
Dude, the first month of the season was fucked. So we're in these busted ass Valley Village black pants. I was like, nah, this isn't me, man.
What about Lucas there, Magoon? Did you get some inspo from him? Because I feel like you got some, like you got like a tasteful, like kind of like Lucas, like your own, but like there seems to be something, not so much.
I don't know if I draw direct inspiration, but I definitely watched a lot of Lucas growing up, and his like whole attitude, like fuck you thing.
Attitude was unreal.
I think it was at the Whistler, whatever that event's called at the bottom of the hill, and he's
Grenade Games.
Grenade Games, yeah. And he's at the base getting interviewed. They're like, "Oh, like, what do you think about fucking hip hop coming back to New York or something?" He's like, "It never left, you clowns," or something. I was like, sick. Yeah.
Speaking of Lucas and his approach, he did contests for a bit. Did you ever kind of do contests, and what kind of feels did you walk away from that kind of thing if you did do them? Because I feel like your approach is so far, like you standing beside like Scotty James just seems like two totally different people.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty different. I did when I was on that snowboard team that Heringa coached for a bit. We would like, it was like a slope style team. You know, and I was like, "Oh, cool, slope style. Like we're boarding the park." And then like it's like not like you gotta spin the jumps and shit. And, like it's me not liking contests is more of a cop out as to me not being able to spin jumps very good, you know. But no, I never really liked that whole thing. But it was sick having Heringa there. Like we go to Big White for a contest, and like I remember this one, my dad drove me out. It's like a big drive, you know, and like he's like, "My kid's gonna do good." And like Heringa's like, "Yo, you should jump off the contest jump and slurp that like banner. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, dude, I got that. Slurp the banner. I'm like, oh, pumped. Like disqualified, like didn't place. And my dad's like, you threw it all away, man. I was like, sorry, man. This is getting an earful the whole way home.
What is schlurp to somebody that might not know?
Schlurp, slime. It's just like catching tranny on something, like trying to get 2 bindings on and like flex your board down a tree, you know? Like Luciano was real good at that. Bebe, he was like the king of slurping. Nice. I think he might have came up with slurp.
Derek and I called it sloop.
Sloop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had our own. That's so funny that you guys had slurp or slime or whatever like that. Because I've heard slime too.
Yeah.
I think in the States, like I forget where but Lucas One Super Park was like ollieing into the side of these like massive jumps. Like he would hit the takeoff and then land in the cutout that was like 85 degrees into like, it was insane. I was like,
sick.
And then one of them you'd go to flat, you know what I mean? And miss the entire, you're like, oh my God. That was gnarly.
Yeah, dude. It's all about slurping.
I mean, it's kind of one of the more fun things to do is ollieing into a wall of any kind. If you can get your front foot and your back foot into the full like slime, like that feeling is incredible, and it is really hard to do good.
It is really hard to do good. I usually just find like my back foot on there like half-assed. I'm like, oh, that was a good slurp. Like, I'm not that good at it.
So you mentioned that your dad went out here. Was your dad like a big part of the boarding scene?
No, but we learned together though, same day.
No way.
We started, I got the board for Christmas. And yeah, we went out to Hemlock Valley next day or whatever, Boxing Day. And yeah, we learned the same day. He was like definitely my boarding buddy for like the first like 5 years.
That's cool. That's special to have your dad be a boarding buddy for like that's really cool.
It was real sick. But that first day, my Uncle Mike was a big skater, snowboarder guy. So he was a big inspo too. He had like the sick ponytail with like the shaved sides. And I was like, oh, dude, Uncle Mike's sick. I had this sick photo of him oiling a can, like skating. I was like, oh, dude, had that in my room like before I like saw skating. I was like, oh, Uncle Mike's pretty sick, like, you know? So we go to his house and like we pull up, we're putting our boots on. And like my dad's wearing these like thick work socks, you know? And Uncle Mike's like, dude, like you don't want those. Like you want a good pair of like long black socks. Like he's just like, he had like this goofy 90s like skate accent. It was sick. But whatever, we get up the hill. He ditches us immediately on the bunny hill. And he's like, yeah, like he comes back in like a little while. He's like, dude, I was boosting these fat back ones off this side hit. And I'm like, dude, I just got a fat lip on the tow rope. Like this sucks, you know? But yeah, I was like, oh, that was probably dope. But we go in for lunch and like me and my dad are eating pizza or whatever. And these teens like surround us. They're like, oh, how's your day? You know? I'm like, oh, pretty good. Like, whatever. They fuck off. But they took both of my dad and my goggles. They just swiped our gogs. It was like the sickest thing. I was like, dude, teenagers are so cool. Just like stealing and like, you know.
Oh, no. You don't even get mad. You think it's sick?
And my dad was choked. I was like, dude, that's pretty cool.
Dude, I remember I got my Oakley A-frame stolen from the lodge, and like back then I think they were like $120. I think dude. Speaking of that, goggles are $400 and something now. I just went to a shop and I was like, holy shit. Not Ashbury's though, price point, but you don't lose the quality. Check them out, Ashbury Eyewear. Do you wear them?
I wear Ashbury's.
There
nice,
we go.
Dude.
Good plug.
They come with a yellow and a clear.
Yeah, totally. And it's
nice.
just like cheap, you know what I mean? But they're amazing. So yeah, but anyways, my goggles got stolen and I was like shook. I was not like you, like, that was cute. I was like, fuck, that was so not cool, dude. I want those back. Like, I still want those back. They were the same ones that Jeff Anderson had and the
with
Nixon
with
Jib
the
Fest.
foam down here.
Yeah,
those are cool.
Yeah, those were cool. And I was like a pretty big. I wasn't like a massive Jeff Anderson fan at this time, but then like now that I know like his impact on snowboarding at large, it's just like I was like, oh, I just wish, because I keep a lot of things. I was like, I would have kept those.
Yeah.
And I would have had an old pair from the same kind of year and time frame from him. And like, maybe we can linger on that for a second. A couple pros that you were like super inspired by in the early years.
Early years, dude? It was, dude, mainly the local dudes at the hill. like Heaney, Raheem, Russ, Horn. And really early was LNP was the sickest. I watched No Correct Way a fuckload. Like his super tight pants and he like shit himself. That was cool, you know. It's LMP and then like when JP, Joe and Simone were all hanging out, they were sick. I was pumped on them. Lucas, Bradshaw, but mainly LNP, dude. It was LNP was the man. But randomly I got introduced to Chris Dufficy from my childhood best friend Ben Hope and his dad. His dad, Rob Hope, tattooed Chris Dufficy all the time. So they like one night we were hanging out and they put on True Life and they're like, look how much bigger Dufficy's going than everyone else. I was like, yeah, that is pretty sick. So I was a big Duff fan before LNP.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good picks.
Yeah.
Really good picks. I love Dufficy. That one part that you're talking about, that's like when LNP really, the front blunt to fakie and to regular, till this day, like the way he did them, that's
So
like
sick.
Tommy Gesme's new clips in the Atlas movie. He's got a couple like really proper ones, but just the whole front blunt to fakie, front blunt 270 trick. It's like so many people do them, but it's like not a lot of people have them done proper.
Well, like from like 2008 to like 2014, they were all garbage. Like,
Yeah.
but now like they're looking good.
Marty's got a good one.
Marty's got a good one. Tommy, like you said, has a wicked one. Like,
Yeah. I mean, you were part of those old Footy Fiend edits and like camp backflip and stuff like that. Like that
barely though. I was trying so hard to be in those.
Oh, no way. Like,
Yeah.
were you, that was like you being younger trying to get in with that
Yeah.
crew. What did that feel like?
Dude, dude, Footy Fiend was insane. Like they were the sickest edits ever. Like it just looked like they had so much attitude and they were so good at board. And like I just like kind of linger around, be like, oh, I think that's the guy. I'm gonna try to do a fucking shitty tail press in front of him with my tight pants and my sandbox. That was insane. But yeah, I was a big fan of like Marty and Coulter and Nick Elliott and stuff before I met them. Like they were filming together, and then like. Now we're best friends, but like I'm still like fans, you know? I'm like, oh, these guys are sick.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I definitely have a lot of friends like that you idolized and then you become friends with them and you're like, whoa. Like, I mean, fuck, it's like Jeeves, Kuz. At one point, it's like when you like something so much, it's so weird that like you are the kid lingering around in tight pants and like a tie-dye t-shirt doing shitty 5-0s. But then one day it just organically happens that you're part of the club, and 10 years later you're like, oh, these are my best friends.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of insane.
It's so crazy, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I think I met like Coulter and Marty one day at the skate park before some big drinking session. Like I showed up, I hitchhiked there from Vancouver. And then I had the shopping cart with my snowboard in it. And like showed up at the skate park with like a teener. And like, I was like, oh, you're that guy. And they're like, oh yeah, you're that guy. And then we were like buddies after.
You're that guy.
Oh, you
and that's the look at you. Hey, you're that guy.
You snowboard pretty good, huh? Cute.
Oh, and in the same kind of confused era where people are dressing weird and you're trying to get into like Footy Fiend and these local videos, there's like this Yo Beat thing.
Oh my God. That was...
What was your take on Yo Beat? Like being a younger kid consuming, because you were kind of like, the internet has come out in full force and you were a part of it. You mentioned like Vimeo, like that's like my later years. But for you consuming those like edits, like Yo Beat, Snowboarder Mag was probably massive for you for like consuming media at the time.
For sure, it was all websites. Like I don't know, I feel like the internet like grew at the same pace that I grew, you know? It was so weird. And Yobi I was the perfect age for Yobi. There was like a talking shit section in the comments, and the comments would just go off. It was sick. It was every day. There's like 5 edits. You're like, oh, that was pretty sick, or like that sucked. And then you could like say what you wanted in the comments, and then we get liked or disliked. And if you get like a sick like, it's pretty cool. But they had this one segment called rejected edits. So you'd send in your edit, and this dude Germ would fucking yay or nay. So if he said nay, you're in rejected edits. So me and my homies,
But
Daniel.
it still gets posted, but it's rejected.
Yeah, it's like this was dog shit, but they sent it to us. You know, it was
That's
sick.
kind of amazing.
It was dope. So yeah, me and my homies Daniel Gardner and David Jonkus, we had Daniel Gardner's camera. We're making Vimeo edits. We're like, this one's good enough to send. Like, send it in. And then, yeah, rejected. So I'm in Daniel Gardner's basement, and we're like fuming, like, what the fuck?
This is good.
So I made my, you can choose your comment name, right? So I was like, all right, I'm Germ's mom. He was the guy that rejected the edits, right? So I just like said some ruthless stuff as in being his mom, like I'm taking dicks and shit. You know? Like,
It's just stuff a kids would say.
Little kid stuff.
Yeah.
And then, so I was going so ham with that name, commenting on every video. And then eventually Brooke, she ran the website. She's like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, they did like an exposed, like Germ's mom, you know? So they had like, that was my first interview, like just being Germ's mom. Like, who is this kid, you know?
They found out it was you and did an interview on you.
Yeah.
And you were in the rejected pile, and you're kind of like sweet publicity.
Yeah, dude. I just got interviewed for being a commenter. It was sick. And then later that turned into like me getting to write for them and stuff. Like I wrote like a couple articles for YoBeat, and like she would send me to premiere. She sent me to Mark McMorris's premiere. She's like, yo, get the dirt on Mark McMorris. I was like, sick.
No way.
Yeah. So I would like go in there and then like, yo, Mark, can I get like a few words with you for YoBeat? Like ask him when he's gonna do a quad cork or something dumb, you know. So I did a couple of those, and that was a sick era. And I felt like the snowboarding started to decline in the fun aspect when the comment section got switched. Like it was, you couldn't like or dislike anymore. It got fucked. And I was like, it's over. Snowboarding's done. Like the comments are done. But
It's so different now because it used to be a hidden name,
mm-hmm.
and like the majority of comments, and I think that there could be a scientific study, and there's probably has been multiple, but most people when they're on the internet, if they're anonymous, tend to leave negative feedback. You know, when you go somewhere when nobody has a name, it's just like, or at least they're going to engage with negativity, and the positive people just don't say anything.
Right.
And so it seems more maybe negative than it is. But now with Facebook aligned to like your name or your brand, it's most people are being positive because it takes some guts to be like Kody69 on Instagram, and you're just like, yo, fuck this edit. But
should have been rejected. Oh man, no, like it was sick on YoBeat too, because there's famous commenters, like I was Germ's mom, there was like Buff Hondo, and like fucking goddamn it,
just a bunch of haters on YoBeat who get famous.
Casey something, like there was some sick ones, and they had oh my god, I forget what they called it, Comment Con. They had the comment section fucking rail jam at Mount Hood. Like they took the best commenters and like made them play snow against each other at Hood. And yeah, they invited me, gave me some.
Dude, they are way ahead. This is good
It
stuff.
was so sick. That's why
I think of YoBeat like in this weird, maybe because I was older and I didn't know what it was, and I was just like, I just remember this girl coming to town, and she just like, I forget her name.
Brooke Yuri.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. She did something that I remember being like, fuck this person? Like, who are you? Like,
She did like the dream date with Dara at like COC or whatever.
but like now, like, I don't know her at all. And that was one experience when I was younger trying to figure out life myself. So who knows what was in my head that day or what was going on in my life to have that little blurb of somebody that it's not like it stuck with me. But I remember being like, I don't like YoBeat.
Right.
But like, that's a weird thing too, is like when you run into people and you've never met them before, everyone judges a book on its cover. So it's like you're hanging out. It's like all they're going to know is the cover. Nobody opened the book yet.
For sure.
So you judge it immediately. And I'm like, I don't like YoBeat because of like, I didn't like your one experience with that. But like, I mean, you go to every single snowboard premiere in the entire world, which is a question I have for you anyway, is like, why do you do that? But like, if you go to all these premieres and you're not like kind of nice, people are like, that's Kody69. One of those premieres, you're like, damn, I gotta take a shit, and like I got kind of a headache, and someone catches you like in the middle of that, and they're like, there's somebody out there right now that's like, fuck that Kody dude, he's an asshole.
I
And
think
you're
there's more than one out there.
hopefully not. But okay, what does drag you into every premiere? Because as somebody that loves consuming snowboard videos, and I try to attend all of the videos, I've never been to a premiere in the Sea to Sky with you not being there. Whether it's backcountry or rails, you come to all of it. Why do you do that?
I'm bummed to break my streak. I missed Bryn's on Sunday. That was the only one I missed. But I don't know. Everyone's my homie. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to go to your show. Like, obviously, this is your big night. This is sick. Let's go. Then it's definitely a little like, I'm having one this year. I hope you better fucking come to mine. Like, you know?
Totally.
But it's definitely just like, I don't know. It's just like, everyone's my friend too. So I'm like, if I'm not going to go to my friend's thing, like, we're not friends, I guess. You know?
It's definitely like a way to support like the homies. I always say that like to a couple of my friends now. They're older and they're with kids and stuff like that. And sometimes they're like, I don't know if I'll text them like, let's go. And they're like, I can't go or whatever. I'm like, you remember when you were younger, if somebody like Devin or JF or whatever showed up to your premiere, how much it meant. Whether you idolize JF or not, him in attendance means something, and you're like, that's rad. Like, he showed up for our thing. And so, like, I try to go to all these because there's always a good part. If you're going to go to a premiere, somebody filmed something good. Like, the Buck Hunters, like, I didn't know it was going to be that good. And the vibes and the energy in that room, like, it was amazing. And what's his name? Who is the...
I can name drop all of them. Kai.
Yeah.
Kylan.
I've met
Fresh
him
out of jail, man.
No way.
Yeah.
I met him a bunch over the years, and that guy's he's got a heart of gold. So I mean, like, that sucks. He went to jail. I don't know what it's for. It's not my business. My experience with him is like one of the most genuinely nice humans. Like, comes up to me, shakes my hand, says how much he likes the Man Boys and how much we've inspired him, and I'm like, just seeing it, we did like a small rail trip. Were you there with us in the interior?
Penticton.
Yeah, at Penticton when I did like the back.
That's why I did that one.
Oh yeah. We can talk about that in a second. That whole trip, I was just like, he is so about it, and like, this is his community, his people, and like, I just loved his presence.
Dude, Kyle is the man. Like, he's just so pure. Like, loves it.
Passion,
dude. And like, he took us to that down flat down beside the wall, like at that water place or whatever. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he 50'd it. He's like, dude, I did a 50 on it, but like, someone could do a board slide. I know it. And like, he's just like bringing us to his spot. Like,
yeah,
dude, he just loves this shit, dude. He's got his demons, but dude, he's a pure soul. I love that Kylan guy.
We all got those demons.
Yeah.
It's just like dealing with them. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. Like, how do you deal with? Are you good at dealing with your demons? Are you like, have you figured that out, or is it like a chapter you have to embark on still?
I don't know. I do a lot of driving and I scream in the car a lot.
Okay. Yeah. No. Hey, if you got to scream in the car, it's better to release.
A lot of screaming, a lot of loud singing, driving fast.
Oh no, you're a fast driver?
Sometimes if I'm angry.
Oh no, dude, we gotta keep you at bay, dude.
Yeah.
I hate the angry driver on the Sea to Sky. I'm like a 20 over to me is respectful anywhere, other than like a kid's playground kind of area. But like 30 over, like as soon as someone's like, it's an 80 and you're going 120, I'm like, dude, like, where are you going? Like, calm down. Like 80, you're driving 98. That's kind of chilling.
98's good.
I mean, it depends on your car too. Like those speaking of the assholes that are up Cypress Mountain driving in Teslas. Belzile has a Tesla, and we're driving in that thing, and I was like, damn, this thing is nice. Like, you don't even know how fast you're going because it feels like you're just floating. When in my truck, like if you go over like 90, it's like if I take a turn, like we all G'd out, like hitting the walls.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not driving that fast. 20 over is nice. 20 over is nice, but I don't know. Sometimes you can flare up and floor. It's kind of nice.
I mean, if you're pissed off, you're fucking pissed off too. It's
yelling and driving so fast at the same time.
Well, fuck, dude, you lose all rationale when you get like really mad, and it's like there's nothing worse than being kind of mad and then just something stupid, like you open your your truck, you jump inside, you smash your shin getting into your car, and then you kind of like. You're like, that really fucking hurt, and I'm already mad. And then you like spill your coffee. So it makes you a little bit more mad. And then you jump out and your jacket gets kind of ripped because it caught on something. And then you just snap. Like, it's like you can't have things compile, or it's like, dude, it's a wave of destruction about to happen. At least that's me. It happens in threes and then I burst.
But That's where smoking comes into play, man. Dude, you smack your shin, you're like, fuck, and you sit in the car, roll the window down, light your smoke, and then you get on your poker app and you play a couple hands, and you're chill. Then you can go for a nice drive to Vancouver.
I do like Heikki Sorsa was on the show a while ago now, but I think it was about a year ago, and he said his favorite thing about smoking was just the fact that when he was on a trip, he could finally immerse in actually like slowing down and being like present on the trip, which like that there is an argument to be made there because life just flies. I'm not advocating for smoking, but I am advocating for like slowing down and being on like one of these trips like you were with Mt.mtn and being like, I need 5 minutes to actually take in, like, we're all in Ottawa, we got an Airbnb, I'm with my best friends, and if you don't just take a second to slow down and enjoy it, you blink, you're back on the plane with no clips and you're miserable.
Right. Yeah, that can work too, but sometimes you miss the whole thing for being outside smoking. You know, you miss the whole party. Like, God damn it. But yeah, and if you're a real tried and true smoker too, you're just like buzzing the whole time. There's no slowing down.
Nothing worse than being like with a legit smoker, like my dad, who should quit. He's the type that if we get to the cottage and he doesn't have cigarettes because something happens to them,
God.
He's like, oh, I'm driving back to Winnipeg. Like, like it's
home.
Not a joke. Like the trip's over. Like,
Yeah.
and it's so bad that if he doesn't have his brand that he smokes, it's
God.
like, okay, we got to drive halfway home so I can like find, or something.
I'm not quite
bold.
there yet, but
50 more years you will be, so you got to quit now.
Here we go.
What's the best premiere you've ever been to?
Fuck, there's some good ones. I don't know if I want to out Colin DeWatt. He's the man. Best premiere. There's been you know what? There's been a couple good ones at Mount Hood down in Sandy. There's been a couple good ones there, but probably Year of the Snake was really good. Year of the Snake was really good. Fucking, there's got to be a good one. Honestly, Subsidy was a really good one. I really like that. I was in the movie. I'm a little biased, but that was a good party. Dude, at the Year of the Snake when Colin DeWatt jumped off the top, like, at the Rio, he went from the top ropes, the top, the second
Balcony?
floor, the balcony. Dude, he like shimmied down the fucking blind or
Curtains?
The curtains. He shimmied down the curtains. I think he was naked. It was sick.
Humans and alcohol and snowboarding.
That was a good 12 years ago. He's grown up.
Yeah, totally. He would never take kids to a mountaintop, not on the day of camp. Do you remember that story? Did you?
Oh yeah, I heard about that one.
That one was.
It
great.
wasn't weird. He was just trying to be cool.
Okay, Mt.mtn. These are kind of like bullet points, and I wrote down like 10 of them. So kind of like as you see fit. Best jokes. It's kind of like crew dynamic.
Matt Cochran.
High maintenance.
If Dara's there, it's her.
Gnarliest border.
Nick Elliott.
Yeah, he is.
He's not, dude. He's loose.
Yeah, he's that 50-50 he did in
The drop and then the 50.
Yeah,
That was nuts.
that was
Unhinged.
Worst ideas.
Me.
Okay, who's the dad? Who's booking Airbnbs and booking vans?
Franks.
Franks. Looks at Google Earth the most for spots.
Franks.
Yells the most when battling a trick.
Marty.
Most relaxed boarder.
Me.
Most stressed out.
Me. No, Marty.
Favorite person to have on the trip.
Coulter.
Worst person to have on the trip.
Coulter. No, probably me.
That was good. Maybe we'll switch this right over to when I say 180, you say.
Yeah, 10-4. Oh.
10-4.
Oh, you want to start it now?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Okay, cool. 180. Dude, Scott Stevens posted this one time of like this old video. It's like an Aaron style. I don't even know who it was. Front one, just so straight, poked. and then 180. Like he's like, this is the best front 180 ever. And I was like, I agree. I like that. That was
Scott
really good.
Stevens, unknown rider post.
Unknown rider post.
Cool.
It was sick.
Back lip.
LNP and Daryl Mathis.
Ooh, yeah. Daryl's got a good one. Nose press.
Marty.
That triple little that he recently did. That was. Were you there for that?
Yeah. It was
Oh.
insane. He had to do it twice. Coulter missed it once.
No.
Yeah.
That was 2 to make it true.
Oh, yeah. He's done a few 2 to make it trues, dude.
I've
He's
heard.
a fucking boarder. He's so good.
Yeah, the front board he has on the elbow thing was vicious. Were you there for that too?
Oh yeah, that was dumb. He cranked his head the first day, and it was like there's barely snow in Vancouver. Craig was there, which was sick. He was trying that switchboardy, and dude, it was a dusting of snow, and yeah, Marty hooks.
Like what kind of dust? Like 5 cm dust or like 20?
Like a 5, and
Ooh.
like it rained, and then it got cold, and it's kind of icy.
To me, minimum for me to be excited about a trip, like my morale for the whole vibe of the trip goes to pretty much 0 if it's under like 10 cms. Like if things melt down, it's like you got to start finding like creative bond drops, like jumping off hospital buildings and stuff like that.
Marty wasn't hyped. No one was hyped, but he was hungry.
Yeah.
He wanted a piece of that.
I mean, that front board, I mean, you got to cover for it.
Yeah, dude.
So worthwhile.
That's insane.
Half cab nose press.
Dylan Ojo.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't know.
Just like in general?
Yeah, in Gen. Oh, and Brady Smith.
Oh yeah, he was really good.
Dude, he's
I think
good
he
at
lives on the
those.
island now, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he shapes boards or repairs boards or something.
Yeah,
Surfboards.
I think he has like a shop there with his, I want to say fiance, girlfriend, and they do like food and coffee and stuff.
I don't know.
It's in
that
Yuki.
good.
I don't
remember
know.
he was
I don't know
good
that
at half
good.
cab nose press.
360.
Colton Conway.
Okay, who's the best powder boarder?
You, I guess.
You, I guess.
Fucking.
Don't watch that genre.
Yeah. Powder. Craig Kelly. John Jackson.
Oh, good pick.
Dude,
Wow.
you see his POV shit? Like, dude's insane.
Oh, homie is just on a different level. He's
John
just
Jackson,
like,
dude.
John Jay is like, when he's out there, I'm just kind of like it's so wild west cowboy, but he still has that raw talent and style in the middle. Like he goes like back 3 indie over this channel gap with rocks everywhere and like trees all over the place, and then he has to land, and then you like he's got to kind of schlurm in between a bunch of trees and like land, like the whole process. I'm just like, you thought about back 3ing through that, all that madness. Like,
I appreciate that.
yeah, I appreciate that. I love when people are getting through the madness. Yeah.
Survival.
Survival is, whenever I see John, I'm like, he's surviving, but he's so calculated that it doesn't seem like risky and like not calculated.
It's the dreadlocks, man.
He got rid of them.
What?
Yeah, he shaved them. I haven't seen his new part, but apparently he ends the new.
Hopefully he's extra pissed, all bald-headed.
I mean, that's Pat Moore's fucking
yeah.
genre there. Did you like the early form crew or the late form crew?
Was Stevie Bell late?
He was later.
I liked late.
Nice. That's so cool. There's so many people triggered right now.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you, the
Yeah,
Forum 8?
Fuck you.
Okay, let's go through these. Best style currently and back in the day.
Brocklebank. I really appreciate the way that guy lives his life. He's the man.
I like that snowboarding. You're just like overall vision.
Overall, Brocklebank's the man. Back in the day, Cardiel.
Nice. His old snowboard stuff was.
It's the sickest.
I think it's TB3 or 4 when he hits like that little poppy jump and he has like 8 clips in a row on it, and they're like all the most tweaked out clips I have ever seen in my life. And you're like, I
ruined all the après lockers.
It was like that era that any pro skater could be a pro snowboarder.
It was
like,
sick.
And like Danny Way was a pro snowboarder. I always forget. Actually, I DM'd Danny Way the other day. And I was like, dude, you should come on the podcast. He's like, yeah, for sure.
No way.
And I followed up with him again. Didn't respond.
Cool.
Yeah, it was cool just to see
The
that.
first premiere I went to was Danny Way's Waiting for Lightning.
No way.
He sat right in front of me, dude. He was right here. They're like, Danny Way, stand up. And he's like,
Because you got all the skate stuff too out there, don't you? What skate events have been amazing that you because you went to the Dime Glory Challenge?
Went to the Glory Challenge, dude.
How was that?
Mayhem.
What's
Sick.
more mayhem, like snowboard, party snake, Wildcats whiskey, or like skateboarding? Are they different?
I think it's different. I think the skate stuff's a little more controlled. Make sure you're still looking good out there. The snowboard stuff gets super loose. Like, who gives a shit? Like, we're going for it.
Who is the best ollie style? Because when I think of you, I think of ollies. I think of like how much focus you've put on those. I feel
We
like you
got what's this? Fuck. Brian Iguchi and Mike Raff.
Oh yeah, good picks.
Yeah.
Have you ever rode with Mike Rav?
No, he was at that Ojo Fest. I didn't ride with him, but I saw him, and it was sick. Watching him live is even better than the video.
There's definitely riders who are better live. Mike Rav, way better live. Because if you meet him, you hang out with him, you can feed off of him. He has so much energy in his riding.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he doesn't just film one clip. It's like if you continued to film everything else he did during that run, it's like one continued clip.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Some people don't like him, but dude, he's like one of my favorites. His like knees work different than everyone else's. Like he can get so low, and they're like kind of together, and they pop good.
What style on the mountain is played out?
You know what? We could chill with being sad too. Like, that's enough of that. Chill out. It's not so bad. I really like listening to that stuff, like on my own. But we really gotta pump the vibes in the videos, guys. Like, remember Shoot the Moon? Like, there was the silliest songs. They're so fun. I don't know. We gotta chill with that.
Yeah, my thing is Demo texted me I think last year about this because I think in the last 2-3 years it's that like genre of music like emo screamo, which I grew up on.
I love it.
And I like it. But here's my problem with it. If it's the entire movie, I don't want to see any. It was like when Tech Nine was the best, like Gen Pop, Moment of Truth, One Love. There was like, or maybe One Love's a bad example because it was all rap in that movie, but that movie was still amazing. But it's hard to pull off a full genre movie.
Yeah.
It's best to like the new Mt.mtn movie. It's like there's different music because every rider works, but like Nick Elliott with country works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's a Pemby boy.
Yeah, like Demo with rap works.
Yeah.
Like you want to, and like you with metal works. You know what I mean? But like the whole movie being one genre, it just feels a little redundant, especially when you have a whole genre being something that's a little bit more like emotionally triggering. And then you're just like the movie ends and you're just like sad. But like, aren't you supposed to watch a snowboard movie to want to go snowboard?
Yeah.
That's my.
Well, like I think Coulter did a sick job of like showcasing people's personalities, and like, dude, me and Coulter like mainly listen to that sad boy fucking screamo shit, but he was like, we can't guys, like we have to do something else. Like, I mean, I think he did a great job.
I love that take. That was dope. Most underrated boarder.
Fuck. There's a good one here. And I can't think of it today, buddy. I don't know, Mikey LeBlanc. No, I'm just kidding. Fucking Christ. Everyone says Bryn.
I know, right? Yeah. You can't say Bryn.
I'm not saying Bryn.
I like that. You're like, it's played.
Yeah.
It's
played.
like not sick to
It's
say
ABD.
Bryn's name.
Taco.
Good pick. His new footage is
His new
really
footage
good.
is insane.
The ollie into that fucking
into the
bank.
triangle?
Yeah.
We went to that spot, and it's impossible. Like, you can't do that. But he did it. It's cool.
I love it. Like the backside. It's like a backside ollie too. And he just gets into it and he almost G's out. It's like overall the whole clip. I texted him right after. I was like, dude, this clip is so sick.
Insane.
Like, amazing. Yeah, that's a good plug for underrated. Best park feature.
Like, I'm getting caught up here. Here we go. A jump that you can power slide and slurp, and then jump into the bank off the knuckle.
Good luck trying to visualize that, everybody.
If you can look at my fingers on YouTube, you'll be able to see.
Okay, one more time. Try and break this down. Somebody's driving right now. It's raining on the road. They just want to understand what you mean.
You're
So
pissed off. You got to go play poker on your phone. Pull over. There's a jump. There's a knuckle for the jump. Should I change it?
yeah, I think people are getting frustrated now. New favorite feature.
New favorite feature. Park feature?
Rainbow rail on a hip. That's my favorite.
That's pretty good.
Right?
I think they all kind of suck, especially at Whistler.
Whistler's been getting bad.
Whistler Park sucks. Take some notes, boys.
The mountain, amazing. So much fun. Love it. The park, since like Neil and like what was their crew called again? Lost Boys.
Lost Boys.
They had a bunch of Lost Boys back in the day manicuring the park that all like were obsessed with VG and had cool taste and like they really cared.
Like
and
Whistler Park was insane.
I just don't feel like they care anymore. I feel like they're literally like, maybe this is just happening with all jobs, but people are just shitty at work now. Like it's just like show up and work. Like it's your job. Like take some pride in it. Be like, jeez.
Come on. You know what? I hate to say it, but I think it's the skiers, man. I think they're running the parks.
Yeah. Are you one of those old snowboarders still that just like can't get along with skiers?
I can, like, I don't know, especially the girls.
Jesus.
Just kidding. Cut that.
All right, favorite steel boarder.
Jonas Michelot.
Cool.
Yeah.
Favorite backcountry rider.
Nick Dirks.
Worst thing about riding in the streets.
Paying for it with money.
You wish like riding. Why do you have to pay to ride in the streets?
You have to go to wherever there is snow.
Oh,
you have to fly there or drive there. Well, I mean, fucking, I don't know. The morning Tim Hortons stop that takes an hour.
Oh my god, the morning like the emojis are not the emojis, but the characters that Coulter made
yeah.
for you guys, yours being on the van. Like if you haven't seen the movie, please watch the movie so you can understand what I'm talking about. But Coulter, the filmer and editor, made video game characters for each one of the riders. And Cody's beginning is him parked in his van with the box on top in front of a Tim Hortons, because when you go on a rail trip, the only thing you do is get Tim Hortons, which is like a shitty coffee shop across Canada that I hate more than anything.
Take it back.
I hate Tim Hortons.
Buddy. I'm going to jump across the table.
It's like the dry donuts. There's nothing good. The flavor's not good.
It's beige. But man, that's a Canadian staple. I like it, man. I like it.
Okay, one piece of advice you would give to filmers and editors that are trying to make videos dope.
No. Okay, I'm just
like
talking. I'm just talking about my ass, but here we go.
I like it.
Know who your riders are. Like, be friends with them and know what they like, and throw a little bit of that into their part.
Whoa, that was good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Yeah, like I don't know, show off a little personality. Everyone can front lip everything. Like it's not a big deal. Like who cares? Like what are they about? You know?
Yeah, what are
I'm
they?
about Tim Hortons and van jibs. So that was in my part.
Advice you would give to the next generation of boarders.
Know who your homies are and ride or die with your homies. Only you know what your vision is. If you're trying to portray it to someone and they say that's fucked up, you know what it is. Just do it. And who gives a shit? Everyone's doing the same thing. No, do whatever you like. Yeah.
That was good. Keep going. That was dope. You're like, no, that was the end.
Yeah, that might be the end.
All right, who is the GOAT?
Maybe Nick Karinga, dude.
Good pick.
Nice.
I like that one. What makes him the GOAT to you?
He is so good with people that are learning to board and young boarders and like old boarders. He's good with boarders. He's like so nice and welcoming, and he can do probably every trick except like under 720. He can do every trick.
Totally.
Ever.
Yeah, like flat ground, everything, pipe. He's an
Name it, dude.
You're like, yeah, that's about what everything means, Jody.
Everything, dude.
Okay, so closing remarks, shout outs. Who's kind of helped you along the way? Is there anybody you'd like to plug?
Nope.
I'd like to thank myself.
The streets. Just kidding. Yeah, dude. Nick Haringa, Heenahan, Russ Lee, Jano, Jeff Keenan, Dara. Yeah, Coulter, Dave Walliser. You know who you are, dude. Mountain, Dinos Will Die, Union, Vance, Ashbury, Salmon Arms. Yep.
Okay. What was your favorite clip in the new film?
I only really watched my part.
Nice.
I'm just kidding.
You're like, then I blacked out.
And then I blacked out.
No, then you went and hung out with your grandma who came to attend, which is
That was
amazing.
really sick. Dude, TJ, he hits like it's either front 5 or front 7 sunset clip to that Elvis song. Very sick on second peak at Seymour. Front 5 or front 7, sorry, TJ. Or the Ender clip, Nick Elliott front 3 on that huge cornice down to the bottom at the sunset too. Dude, the sunset pow clips are so sick.
The sunset clips at Seymour just hit different.
This is insane.
What
You can only do that at Seymour, really.
It's true. You only can. It's like with that backdrop. It's a magical place. Like the orange you get there off the ocean. The fact that you get all of that together and you're like, okay, like let's shoot another photo.
And you can kind of see the city right there too.
I get why ECS doesn't leave. Is just like,
he's gone, dude. He's left.
has he?
Yeah, he lives in Summerland or something.
Oh yeah, and he drove all the way back for the premiere.
Yeah, dude, he's the GOAT.
What a legend.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
All right, the big question: what's next for Kody? What do you want out of snowboarding, and what do you want out of life?
Out of life, man, I just want to keep watching Survivor on Wednesdays with Grandma, and pay off this credit card via gambling, and maybe find a nice lady to settle down with. Snowboarding, what's next is just going to I'm going to Salt Lake this winter. If anyone has a place for me to stay, it would be very nice.
No way, you're gonna go.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I bought
Cool.
the Brighton Pass. I screwed the Whistler Pass, and I only brought the Brighton Pass, and gonna go there for the winter. See what happens.
When do you leave?
Probably like New Year's.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like, and what made you want to go to Brighton? Like the fact that they have like 700 parks, or what?
I don't know. They had a sick. Looked like they had a sick snow year last year, and
The best snow year.
the best
ever.
snow year ever, maybe. And I don't know. I was just kind of like lost with like my life premiere season. Like, oh, like, I'm so hungover. What do I do? I'm like, I'm gonna go on a trip.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Like if you're not tied down, like you don't have like a mortgage, bills, or like this job, or like a wife that's like makes you landlocked. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't recommend that anymore. I think that's a great idea.
I got nothing going on, man. I'm going to Salt Lake City.
I like it.
Yeah.
Help out this kid, Salt Lake. If you're listening to this, yeah, that'd be sick, dude. I think that's a really good call.
Fucking hell yeah, dude.
Okay, so you got that. So you've brought up gambling a couple times. Maybe we should just at least touch on that. Dude, if you like gambling and you're going to go to the States, do you think you might just end up in like Vegas or something like that?
Well, yeah, Vegas is close, but there's no casinos in Utah. I looked it up.
Ooh, that's nice for you then.
It's kind of good.
Do you play online or do you play? Do you go to the casino?
I go IRL at the Grand Villa Casino, straight to the roulette table.
Ooh, I love roulette
So
too.
fucking nice.
Do you have numbers that you bet on?
No,
Specifics?
I bet dozens. I pick one dozen and I hit the Fibonacci martingale. It's so sick, dude.
What's that?
You bet on one dozen until it hits, but with the Fibonacci numbers. So I've kind of learned the Fibonacci sequence numbers via gambling, which is kind of sick.
What's that? What's Fibonacci even? I don't even know what you're talking
You know,
about.
like the perfect angle or whatever, like the weird circle thing. No?
No.
No, cute.
Nothing's coming in my. I have no.
Maybe we could put it in the show notes. The
Yeah,
perfect Fibonacci. But it's 1, 1, 3, 8, 13, 21, 33, something. But those are the units you bit.
Okay.
Martingale style.
And have you been doing? Are you up or down?
In total, I'm down.
I like that you're an honest gambler. I have a lot of friends that are into gambling. Dude, that's another addictive thing. You got to be careful. You seem like you have an addictive personality.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, be careful out there. All right, so on that note, your next chapter, you're going to Salt Lake because you can't gamble, and you're going to be just looking up to ride down the biggest roller coaster ride.
Yeah,
of your
hopefully they
life.
got some good amusement parks down there.
I'm looking forward to seeing your next part. Thank you for coming on. Huge fan. Thanks for being a Patreon member. Really appreciate it. Congrats on that first part. Or your first full part that opened a movie. It was kind of like, it was special for me. You were my camper. You came a long way. I loved it. I think that part showcased, it's kind of the perfect part. There's so much personality in it. Coulter edited it. The fact that you have your own video game character opening that part, it was a masterpiece. So congrats, man.
Thank you, man.
Something to be super proud of.
I was really hyped on that myself.
Nice.
That was super sweet. Thanks for having me, Jody. That was amazing. It's
Word.
fun chatting.
All right, lastly, before we go, any closing remarks before we jet here, Kody?
I'd just like to shout out Ben Hope's dad, Rob Hope, man. He's just this punker, tattoo artist, skater, fucking fun dad that like was the biggest inspiration to me as a young boy, man. Like, really hyped on Rob Hope. He like, dude, he got me all hyped on punk music and skating and snowboarding kind of all at the same time. Like, there's this one time he was supposed to drive us to the skate park. We were like 11 or something, you know? And he's like, it's like noon. He's like too fucked up to drive us. So he calls over his buddy. And so his buddy comes and drives us and Rob Hope to the skate park. And then we're driving. He puts on this band Face to Face, dude. Never heard it before. It's punk music. I was like, what the fuck is this? And then he flips upside down in his chair and starts fucking kicking the ceiling of his truck. And I was like, dude, like, you can just do this? Like, this is sick. I've never been exposed to this before. Like,
Wait, adults can just kick the ceiling of their vehicles?
so cool. Like, I've only been exposed to like my parents and like my martial arts studio at this time, like proper people. And then Rob Hope's just kicking his truck and he's all drunk and showing me punk music. That dude's the man. Love that guy.
That guy sounds like you touched on martial arts there. What taekwondo, karate?
It was Sun Hang Do,
Oh,
the
cool.
complete martial art.
Nice. Then did you do that for a while or just short stint?
From like age 5 to 11 or something.
For a while.
3rd degree black belt, dude.
Nice.
I did double nunchucks at the grade 7 talent show.
Oh,
To
wicked.
AC/DC.
Was your grandma there too?
I think she was, yeah. I think there's actually
Nice.
footage of that somewhere.
If we can dig that out and put that in the show notes, you let me know. That sounds like gold.
I'll ask Granny.
I mean, that is wicked though when you have somebody that's like my dad had a couple best friends that like they just really shape you.
Yeah.
More than you know too. And I brought it up earlier, but just because it's kind of sitting kind of heavy right now. My dad's best friend just passed away and he was just like the cool, like he was the first person that I was like, you can do anything you want in life. Like he had a hot rod collection and he would build them all from the ground up and he owned like jet skis and boats. He worked so hard for all those things, but it's like he had so many different talents and he was like, you'd go in his garage and he'd be working on like a custom, old school, like 1940s hot rod. And he's welding it all together, rebuilding the whole engine. And there's just babes all over his garage. You know what I mean? Like the
garage
classic,
babes are
like,
the best.
and there's so many pinup dolls. And I'm just like, and he's just like working there with his can of beer. And I was just like, this guy is the best. To the point where like, I called him my uncle.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, he's in your life so much. And then, yeah. And now that he's gone. So rest in peace, buddy. I'm going to miss you. Big
What's
time.
his name?
Uncle Keith. Badass
Rest in
dude.
peace, Uncle Keith.
Yeah, I think you guys would get along.
God damn it.
Yeah. Well, on that note, thank you so much for coming on, dude. Huge fan. Can't wait to see what you're up to next. And Salt Lake, look out.
About to burn it down.
Nice.
All right. Thanks for having me, Jody.
All right,
Amazing.
take it easy. Peace.
3, 2. Oh my God.
what's up?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the program.
The Airtime Podcast is presented by Van Shoes since 1966.
There's nothing fake about it. Have something to believe in and be yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Airtime, y'all podcast.
Yes, sir.